if you're in a place where you want to go somewhere, but you're feeling like this one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake kind of, feeling where you know where you want to go, but it's sort of like, I know where I want to go, but every time I move towards it, I feel like I have that gas pedal. Let me know in the comments if that's you. If it is, then what's starting to happen is we conceptually know usually where we want to go. And so then we start to think, okay, well, then I need more confidence, right? So like very often in our community, people are like, okay, yeah, I want to talk more about my business, or maybe I want to shift a little bit what I'm doing or what I'm offering to the world. And so the common idea is like, okay, yeah, I need more confidence. And so then we think, okay, well, maybe then I need to shift my mindset. But from a deeper level, what we want to start to understand is when we're moving towards where we want to go, what we really want to look at, because here's kind of where you start to unlock the keys to where you want to go, is what chronic feeling and emotion do I feel when I move towards where I want to go, and when I move, and if I when I move towards where I want to go, and if it's a feeling that feels like it's stopping me or blocking me. So let me know in the comments, what is that emotion? What is that feeling? Like the place that you're feeling stuck, the place where you're like, I know I want to go there. There's a next, let's say, level in my experience, in my business that I want to go, in my life that I want to go. But it's just like, every time I move towards it, I have a certain feeling. So this is really key. So let me know in the comments what that is for you. And one of my clients, she has taken all of the different trainings for her business, and she's actually quite successful, taken all of the big names, all the gurus in our industry. And, one day just after, and she wanted to kind of expand what she was doing in her coaching business. And she couldn't figure out, she knew what to do, but every time she went to go do it, there was this like overwhelming feeling of doubt, right? And usually when you think, okay, well, if I have doubt, then I have to have more confidence. But that's an intellectual experience. And so what we did, and if you were to work with me, most people, what we maybe don't necessarily are conscious of is what has been imprinted in our physical body, in our mind, and in our energy, that has unconsciously been there to protect us against moving towards what we love. So let me explain a little deeper. So with her, what would happen is she'd start to put herself out there and market her new kind of evolution of her business. But every time she would do it, she'd like doubt herself. She wouldn't understand, like, okay, why she kept on feeling the way she was feeling. She would do it, but then she'd kind of want to pull back and like, oh no, wait, this is wrong. And so when we kind of did the healing work, which is that uncovering of who we are as a human, and uncovering how we are going to experience our calling, or our soul's calling, we might call it, we went and we looked at what was imprinted in her body, mind, and energy. So this feeling of doubt, where we started to, when we did the work, she started to recognize, okay, when was that? When was that feeling? When was the first feeling you felt that way? And as we did the work, she started to recall, oh, wow, okay, yeah. There was this moment where my mom and dad, they'd fight a lot, actually, and they were fighting. And one day they were fighting, and my mom kicked out my dad. And so this was when she was younger. And so when she went out to go see her dad's like, well, get back inside. You don't really love me, and then she went back inside, and the door was locked. Now, what the heck does this have to do with anything about our business? And here's the thing. This is the unconscious. This is the stuff that where it's like we don't necessarily make the link. But because we have a body, because we have a mind that creates memory, and that because we have energy that also creates memory, what starts to happen is it imprints us, and it starts to create like a programming that helps protect against dangerous situations. And mostly they could be physical danger, but also emotional danger, right? So in this moment of when her two caregivers, right, Because when you're a child, you are reliant on your whoever's taking care of you. So if they are, let's say, unstable or whatever is happening, which all of us, right? I don't think there's any human being that hasn't felt some sort of instability, right? So, nobody's exempt. And so that's why I think healing has to do with pretty much everything, especially if this is what you're interested in. And so what would happen, right, is in that moment, she made a decision. She made a decision based on her natural instinct, which we all have, the natural instinct to love on her dad and love on her mom, right? And then what did that natural instinct, what happened in that moment? It was, oh, you're not safe. You're wrong for experiencing that feeling of wanting to take care of me. And when you're younger, you don't make this assessment, you don't make this meaning. You just think, oh my gosh, okay, so if I move towards taking care of somebody I love, and move towards what I want and put myself out there in a way where I'm exposing my innocence, exposing my heart, then both doors are going to be slammed in my face. Because the interesting thing with her business and her experience, and even in her life with her children, she'd always have this feeling of her energy, and we looked at her energy too, her energy was spinning around in all of these different directions, and she would always doubt, like, okay, I did this act of kindness, but is it okay, is it enough, and so she started to kind of make that connection that, oh my gosh, this feeling of doubt had been imprinted in such a way where if I were to move towards and take care of the people I love, right, and act on my, what I call like your pure intentions, it's actually not a safe place. And when we're a coach and when we're a healer, here's the thing. I think this is why this comes up so deeply, is we start to offer to the world what's most deep in our heart. It's like it's almost like, when a child wants to has this dream, and usually children, right, they have dreams of like, oh my gosh, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a dancer, I want to be like, and it sounds childish, it sounds big, it sounds like, and here's the thing, and we all know that, in this lifetime, we can live any life we want, depending on what we choose. So there's no grandiose dream, really, that exists, because it's all possible.